All right, your job is not holding you back, okay? People get into a tizzy, myself included, when we are broke and living paycheck to paycheck and perpetually seem to be broke, never having any money. This is nothing new. People that are creatives, now classified as creatives or creative people, or actors or writers or all those lunatics, pay the price up front of poverty, and then you get into celebrity when your art improves, right? So we suffer, and we think the fat cats, greedy fat cats and corporations and all these Republican organizations are making money off our ass. They might be, and that will not last forever. Karma will bite them in the ass and destroy their kind eventually. However, for now, we seem to be under that system. However, if you look at it another way, spirit does not make things simple, even our own spirit. And we've agreed to these solar contracts because we need preparation in certain areas. So if you hate your job, great opportunity to work overtime. Then you need all the overtime you can get so that you can get out of that job. Myself included, and I follow my own advice. Now, what's going to bring you out of the working world is actually art and creativity, and what I'm doing here is practice, acting practice, speaking practice, therapy practice, camera practice, and you can do that too. Do I write every day? No, I do not. I write when I'm inspired. I sometimes force out a scene, and it does get me to think, and it does help me push the story forward. So I have the story in my head. The novel is going great, but I'm chipping away at it. I'm not writing every day. I'm not inspired. I'm not feeling motivated. Why? Because of what I just said. We spend 8 hours at a time, and that's really quite enough when you're doing something you really hate. And so at the end of the day, it's extremely hard. But that didn't stop the slaves from doing what they needed to do. Like, let's see, Frederick Douglass is probably the best known such slave who used his free time and some of his paid time to learn, to advance his lessons in learning when he wasn't permitted to go to school, when he wasn't offered any schooling. He made it happen, in the background, against his slavers' designs. So, in the same sense, yes, we're stuck in these wage slave jobs, and they do fail to pay a living wage. And if the living wage gets higher and higher, though, you have to realize what I call living wage is almost this, what I'm making now. I've found a job with increased wages. However, granted, to make a living wage, even when I determined back a while ago, I have to make $5 an hour more than I make now. So in order to succeed in this city of Seattle, where rent is way too damn high, you have to make more than $25 an hour if you're paying the full rent. People who have roommates don't have to worry about that. They pay almost half as much in rent, and they don't have those expenses, but then they have roommates, which is an extra hassle. And for a creative person, you just can't do that anymore. You can't hang, and you're not interested. You don't want people smoking in your place and otherwise disturbing you and in your face, and it's gotten ugly, especially with an opioid epidemic. You don't want those people near you. You really want to be selective about the kind of roommates you have. So that brings us to the phase of bachelorhood, living in a dumpy place like this. And it's really not so bad when you think about it, right? I'm living a city life, but for a city, this is almost discount rent. Now, don't tell the landlord that, because it's not discount rent, it's repulsive. And this place is loaded with dogs, which never fail to disturb me every day in a given day, which is one of my greatest complaints as a curmudgeon and creative whatever I am, okay? When I have my own land, however, no one is going to go near me. No one is going to come onto my property. Now, there might be wild animals. They own the earth as well. I can't, not going to prevent a bear from being on my property unless it starts to cause damage, and then I'll deal with it in the appropriate way, not by killing it or something. So that thought probably got way ahead of itself. But you can see I'm impersonating a little bit of Lewis Black, and you can see the creativity is there. Okay, people with creativity who use it and harness it, go to school for it and practice, will one day, and I fit all those categories, will one day make it. Do you fit all those categories? What categories, what boxes do you check? What kind of celebrity would you be? Ask yourself questions like these. How would you become a celebrity? If you were a celebrity, what would make you a celebrity? What attributes do you have of celebrity that would make you, desirable celebrity? So you can get out of the rat race. Okay, as sure as I'm in the rat race, I'm gonna keep this film archived, and it will also be online. And in later time, you can compare it to when I'm writing screenplays, or perhaps even appearing in screenplays, making millions of dollars a picture, and writing books, publishing. You can compare to now, right? Just like you sometimes see that picture of Barack Obama sitting on a couch in his college days, looking bummed out, looking like he smoked a couple joints and just blazed and sitting there. Looks like he's not very economically well. Then he wrote several books, did his presidency, and now if he makes an appearance, it's going to cost a lot of money. This dude, same thing. In Philadelphia, many stories like that, I'm sure, about roaches and whatever. They're in this book, some of them. All that stuff, right? I'm learning how much of Fresh Prince was really him. It doesn't seem that true to life for him, but I'm learning about how much Fresh Prince was actually Will Smith. That's something I'm curious about. So I hope to find the answer to that in this book. Even though it doesn't appear that Will Smith wrote the book. You know, a writer wrote it, and the writer is named in the pages, but he's a ghostwriter, so that's another thing he could be, a ghostwriter. That's perfect. You know, if I wrote a book for a celebrity, and and I had my byline in there, they knew damn well I wrote it, but you know, the celebrity gets paid, I don't care. I would feel like I got my work recognized. So, do creative things every day. I'm obviously doing what I tell you to do. I'm practicing this. I'm getting on the camera, I'm making more videos, and I will continue to do so. Not worrying so much about how you really don't want to do it, how you just worked 8 hours doing something you absolutely hate, and what you hate usually relates to what you're doing. So even though I'm doing repetitious things, it's not necessarily meant to be repetitious, and maybe it's me, you know, in the way, by not knowing how to do the job the proper way. Because no one taught me, and you suck at life originally, and then you have to practice the job doing it different ways with the repetition until it unfolds into something better. So I'm divided about this. In some ways, it's the worst job I ever had, and yada yada. In other ways, this could be my big break. This could lead to my big break. This could be responsible for my big break, even. And I think it is. And we need some of that eustress, put on us in order to create. Would we create otherwise? Not necessarily. We need to light a fire under our asses in order to create. You know that as well as I do as a creative person, and yada yada. So my recommendation to you is to get started for free. Drawing costs nothing. Granted, most people start with number 2 pencils, which is an amateur thing to do, but some people are even skilled with number 2 pencils. Obviously, number 4 pencils and HB4 type of pencils are better for drawing, and some people can't get results until they have those. But some people do really cool things with number 2 pencils and pens. Creating comics. You don't have to be a fine artist. You can create comics. For me, I'm more of a cartoonist. I don't really have a lot of drawing skills. It would be kind of funny for me to spend a lot of time trying to get them, knowing that in the end I'll probably just give up and not even be interested in fine art because I don't have the patience. But I'm interested in other forms, such as film, such as oration, such as writing. And whatever it is for you, that's your passion, want to say, you can do it. As I arrive closer to 40, I'm actually getting better results out of life than I had at like 30. And people think that they're just going to go downhill and their life is going to go downhill. But guess what you have to look forward to? Getting rich, making money, having a home, right? Instead of like struggling all your life with limited means because you actually sucked and you're not hireable to people. Then finally you build your resume and experience and get to the point where you can do something totally different and you've risen to a new job. You've created a new job in life for yourself. So there's not much to say. Get out there. Oh, by the way, this book is really great. Mary Choi, Permanent Record. Highly recommend. This is a novel that's I give credit for helping me find my own writing style and my own groove and the modern writing style. So definitely books like that are valuable. I'm not telling you anything about my book coming out, but I am telling you that it's very interesting to me, and it takes a lot to get my interest. I'm not interested in everything. And I think you'll like it when it comes out. I'm working to get it done in a year's time. By the time I go to my high school reunion, that's all I'll say about it. There's a high school reunion involved. And the rest of it is going to be figured out. But I want it published traditionally by a traditional publisher like Simon & Schuster within the year. And I'm working on that. Now, I may come up empty-handed, but reach for a star. And you may not get it. You won't get the star, but you'll get something. All right? So, yeah, do that. Other than that, peace.